YouTube, what is going on? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. Guys, I got a lot of goodies in front of me today. I'm going to be talking about the best way to store your comic book collection. And guys, this is my humble opinion. I got a lot of feedback actually as well from the community regarding an older video that I did some time back about how they have protected their books and what kind of storage boxes they use. So I have a lot of things to go over today, and we're going to be focusing on BCW products. For those that follow my channel, I am an advocate for BCW products. I really stand by the quality that they offer. So this specific video is going to be storage. We're not talking about bags and boards. I will have some more videos to come in the near future regarding bags and boards and so forth, Mylar, poly, all that stuff that we all love to talk about as well. But let's get into some boxes. Now, what you see right here is the box for the plastic storage bins, and you can see one nicely put together right here. Now, putting these together is not very difficult, and I will leave a link. BCW does have a video on their YouTube channel. Go subscribe to them and check out their how-to videos. They have videos that show how to put these together piece by piece. They're very informative. I just used the one-page direction that came in the box, and I got through it perfectly fine. So here's our option today, guys. We have the plastic storage bins, right? We have the standard BCW cardboard boxes, all right? And then we have cardboard boxes with the graphics on it. This one is a Boom Studio Power Rangers box. Really sweet. I love this. Look at that artwork. I love it. So, and then lastly, we will be going over, we do have a graded storage, plastic storage bin, okay, for your graded books. And I have down here a long box. So, standard cardboard long box. We will be talking about long boxes as well. But right now, let's get into my ultimate favorite. Look, you know, and I've talked about this before. In my over 30 years of collecting, I have used cardboard boxes, and to me, I am a cardboard box guy all the way. Now, cardboard boxes, the short boxes from BCW, are $5 from their website, and you can find them around that same price. Your LCSs are going to have for the same price. These storage bins are about 5 times the cost of your standard BCW boxes. They're about $26 for the standard short bin. The graded bin, I believe, go for $34.99, 35 bucks. So what I like about the cardboard boxes is that, first off, they're affordable. You know, and I think a lot of us collectors, we are on a budget. And for somebody that has over 16,000 books like I do, I'm just going to come out and say it. Trying to afford a $25, $26 plastic bin for all of my comics is going to break my bank. So, and another good thing about BCW, their website, you get discounts when you buy in bulk. And I do believe for the standard short boxes, if you buy 10, it brings the price down to like $349, $379, somewhere around there. So you can save money if you buy in bulk instead of just buying one at a time. And they also offer free shipping as well. I don't know if any of your guys' local LCS offer supply discounts. You know, if you buy in bulk. I know one of my local shops, A1 Comics, they have sales where they often offer discounts on supplies as well. So obviously, if you're on a budget, look for any way that you can save money. Guys, what I like about BCW, because I have a comic defense box right here, and I'm going to compare these two, okay? First off, if we put them up against each other, you guys can see the BCW is a little bit longer. Now, BCW, you could probably hold about 150 to 175 books in their boxes. It's going to be about 15 to 20 books more than some of your competitors, like the comic defense box right here. Okay, and this isn't a knock to any other competitors, but I mean, for the same price, if you're paying about the same price for a short box, why not have a little bit more room to where you can fit more books in them, right? One thing I like about BCW as well is they are very durable. You can pick them up by the handles, and you're not going to have any problem really with them ripping. I've had BCW boxes for years and years and years. I've moved. They've been through moves with me, and they've held up. I even had some water damage on a couple, and it discolored and damaged the box a bit, but it didn't get into the comic books. Thank goodness, right? Not to say that cardboard's going to resist against water damage. We'll get into that in a minute here, but I was lucky. Okay, so for me, when collectors bring up other options such as plastic, Tupperware storage bins, or random other kind of bins that aren't specifically made for comics, I do stay away from them. I am definitely a short box guy all the way. Now, one thing some people brought up is, well, if I have my Tupperware bin, then I can protect it against water if there happens to be a flood in the house or whatnot. So that makes a lot of sense. Now, you got to really understand, storing comics isn't just about what you keep them in. It's the totality of the environment as well. And if you have your books, say, in a basement where there could be a possibility of some kind of water damage due to a flood or a break in a water line or water main, you might want to think about protecting them with plastic. And that's where something like this comes into play. Now, one thing I want to talk about too, as well as water, is UV rays. Okay, your standard cardboard boxes do protect against UV rays. Okay, obviously plastic bins are going to too. If you just have a Tupperware bin that's a clear bin with a lid on it, those are not going to protect against UV rays. That's one thing. Water, yes, Tupperware bins are going to protect better against water, but so will these. So let's get into your comic book bins. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, these things are amazing. They have little locks up here on each side to where if you're carrying it and it drops, or it's on a shelf and it falls over, these locks will keep the flaps closed, okay? These will hold about the same amount as your standard BCW cardboard boxes. That's about 150 to 175 comics. They are the same dimensions on the inside. They are extremely, extremely durable. Okay, one thing that is really awesome about these boxes, you have your divider, which also works as a comic book, what I call stopper, right? Let me give you guys an example. And I've had this question asked to me multiple times. What do you use if you have books in a box and the box isn't completely filled with books and you don't want them to lean over or fall back and get that crease in them? I get creative. Right now in this box, I have a Voltron toy. It fits perfectly in there, and it fits perfectly to keep the books from leaning, okay? But look at this. Imagine if we had slots to have a nice sturdy plastic divider like this. There's 4 slots along the box, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that these can fit at. So if I wanted to keep, say, a small stack of books like this in the box, I can slide them in right here, and even in that small space, they aren't going anywhere. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And like I said, you can also use these as dividers. You know, if you have different characters in a box, different runs, Marvel, DC, Image, so forth. So that's another really creative thing. These things are so functional. They even have slots right here that you guys can put labels, stickers, or anything to say, this is my Amazing Spider-Man run, or this is Bronze Age keys, or something like that. Here's my thing. Here's my thing about this. I talked about being on a budget. If you have key books in a collection, I think it's very, very viable and feasible to invest in at least a box or 2 or 3 to at least store the books that are most important to you, because yes, they're going to protect against UV rays, they're going to protect against water damage, and you know they're very, very accessible. Yet at the same time, they're very mobile. You know, with the lids being able to close, the locking mechanisms, and the grip handles on the side, and being able to, you know, bring them from one room to another, or if you're having to move, or if you're a dealer and you bring comic books to cons or you know, outside sales somewhere in the community, these are extremely, extremely feasible. Another thing that somebody brought up to me, and I should have thought about this when I was talking about how I love the cardboard boxes in the past video. Pets. I have cats. And my kids, now I'm lucky that I have most of my comic books in a room where cats don't have access to. My kids, on the other hand, don't. And some of their boxes in their rooms are scratched up and just ripped to shreds by the cats, because the cats like to claw them. Another good thing about these plastic bins is that they are pet proof. So 100% pet proof. They can scratch all they want. They will not get into them. They will not really damage them to get into the books at all. So that's another plus. So I want to talk about a middle ground here in something that's just really cool and a really creative idea. And after I talk about this, we're going to talk about long boxes. But that is the graphic cardboard boxes here. We got BCW has a lot of different kinds. Here's a Boom Studio one. Here's a Valiant one. Obviously, most of us know that this is how cardboard boxes come before we open them up and put them together. Here's a basic, kind of fun comic art box. So they have all kinds of graphic boxes that you can think of. These range from $11.99 to $15.99 on their website. And again, the more you buy at once, the bigger discount that you can get. Again, extremely durable, and it's a great way to personalize your collection. So if you are a Power Ranger fan and you have a decent collection of Power Ranger books, get yourself a Power Ranger box. If you're a Boom Studios collector, you can use it for all your Boom Studio stuff. Same with the Valiant and so forth. You know, there's many ways to personalize. I think these are really cool, really creative. And again, you know, if you're not into spending more money on how you, you know, store your books, take that money. You could buy the basic bins and get the same amount of durability and save that extra cash for some more comic books, right? That's how I think. That's the type of thinking that I love. So let's look at long boxes, guys. So let me move the plastic bin right over here for a quick second. We're going to look at long boxes. People ask me all the time, what do you think of long boxes? Should I go with long boxes or stick with short boxes? Books are sliding now that I took them out. See? So if all of those were in the plastic bin, I wouldn't be having to adjust that right now. When I built my current comic book room that I have in my garage, and I built the walls, insulated, and carpeted it, I went to all long boxes. Okay, this was about five years ago. I built my shelving unit that fits long boxes. It has 18 cubbies for long boxes. I still use the long boxes for those cubbies. It works perfect. I have a video if you guys want to check that out and look at my unit and how that works. You can find that on my channel. But outside of that, everything that is outside of that unit, I went back to short boxes. Now, the long box becomes very difficult, in my opinion, because they get really heavy. And if you're somebody that likes to, you know, go into your collection often, you know, whether it's because you're reading or you're just pulling books out to pull them out, whether you like to constantly sort your books and rearrange your books, the long boxes become problematic. It was hard on my back. Okay, I'm going to tell you, you know, you're constantly lifting and whatnot. Now, if they're stationary, you know, when you have the proper room and the proper setting to store them, why not? But for me, it's just a lot easier to access books in short boxes. Now, I like, for one, if you have a square footage of floor space and you think about stacking or going long ways, taking up more floor space, those long boxes are going to take much more floor space than your short boxes. You can still stack short boxes, okay, and save room. And I'm all about stacking, which brings us to another topic, and that's stacking your boxes. So you don't need a storage bin like this to be able to stack your boxes. These are so durable, the basic cardboard boxes, that you could stack box on top of box. I like to stack 3. That's kind of my limit, but you could probably get away with stacking 4, maybe 5. Now, do I recommend it? Not necessarily. Like I said, 3 is my limit. And that's just because you don't want them to teeter and possibly fall off. But you can easily stack. Another awesome thing to use if you have the cardboard boxes are the cardboard houses, which BCW sells as well. The cardboard houses are so durable and they last like forever, okay? The same with the long boxes. You can still stack, but again, if you're stacking and you're trying to get into the bottom ones and you're constantly moving those, I don't recommend it. Now, the plastic bins are extremely stackable. You can definitely stack up to 6 of these on top of each other. They have crevices to where you can stack and not worry about them easily falling off because of these little pieces right here. Okay, so like I said, 5, 6 of these at a time. You are sound for your books to be set. Now, I live in California. We have earthquakes. So like I said, even with these, I probably wouldn't stack more than 3 because if an earthquake happened, I still wouldn't want my books sliding all over the place and falling. So I'm very careful about that. So guys, this is it and how I like to store comics. And here's the thing, guys. I really do stand behind BCW product. I do. I talk about their backing boards. I talk about their bags. I told you I'm going to make more videos on those. But for the price that you can pay for your basic standard box, I'm always looking for BCW. Okay, and BCW just has an awesome unit here that if you do have the budget to go with the plastic storage bin, I definitely recommend it. I recommend it every day of the week next to going with some kind of a Tupperware bin where you may be forced to just lay your comic books flat on top of each other, which I never recommend. Although I have seen people get creative with a bigger storage bin. They put little dividers in there themselves and they kind of get artistic with them. But still, if you want to go with plastic, if you're worried about UV and water and pets, this is definitely the way to go. And this is the way to go. Like, look, if you're spending money on graded books, go out and get a graded plastic bin because we know the high dollar amount in graded books and what it takes. If you have, $35 to $50 to send a book out to CGC or CBCS or EGC, whatever it may be, to get that book graded, spend another $35 to make sure that you guys are storing them properly. Again, I mean, the cardboard graded boxes are perfectly fine, but I don't have too many graded books in my collection. This bin will be enough for me to keep all the books that I have, but if I continue to add graded books to my collection, I'll be buying another one of these because I'm not going to store them in anything other than these from now on. So that's a fact that I know for sure moving forward. So guys, I really thank you all for watching today. I hope I broke down and gave you guys some good advice on how to store your books and what kind of the best options are. And again, as I say with everything with comic collecting, collect what you love to collect, and that also involves how we store our books. If one way isn't right for you, do what's right for you. And I supplied many options here today. Check out BCW Supplies online and check out all these good supplies that they have. I can't wait to make a bag and board video because I'm just, I love that topic. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, guys. If you have any other questions, leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. And again, check out those links below to BCW. I have the actual website link. I have a link to the how-to when it comes to the plastic bins and putting them together. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.